Hi, Darren Gates here from Transmeridian Training based in the Isle of Man. Thanks for tuning to our YouTube channel, and this YouTube video is going to introduce to you to our packages of seminars, webinars and our web-based training or education packages that we have on offer. Basically what we're going to be running is a series of seminars around the world over the coming months that teach people the fundamentals of how to trade the markets like a professional, and how to make money whether the market's rising or falling. We've got a number of packages available. There's a 2-day seminar where I come to a place near you, and you turn up. It'll be held at a hotel. It's over a 2-day period, and during that 2 days we go through the basic fundamentals of how to build an investment portfolio, how to manage risk. We look at some macroeconomics, some technical analysis. I also do a very similar package that's available by a live webinar using Zoom, and there are some dates for that. And also a new thing that we've just set up is a education package which goes into much more detail. So there's very limited content that we can deliver in the space of 2 days. So our web-based online training gives you much more comprehensive overview. It covers the key areas that I mentioned before, so global macroeconomics, risk management, technical analysis, generation of trade ideas. But we go into much more detail, and you have access to the materials for a 12-month period. And at the end of the course, there is an option, if you want to, where you can sit an exam, and you'll get a certificate at the end if you pass. So this video is going to go through the basic ideas behind this, what we're going to cover, and the options that you've got available to you. So thanks for watching. Okay, so let's have a bit of background information first to see where we're kind of coming from. Most people, I think, have come to realize that they're not going to build wealth, I mean real wealth, by working for someone else. If you don't believe me, just on the last day of the month before you get paid, put your card in the ATM machine and look at the figure staring back at you. Is it increasing each month? Is it getting smaller? Or is it staying the same? The vast majority of people, I would say, is staying the same. They kind of live from month to month, and they're not really building anything of any value. Even if you are lucky enough and you're putting some money away, with current interest rates as they are, it's kind of virtually pointless, because your money in fact is devaluing year on year because interest rates are virtually zero, yet inflation is running significantly higher than the interest you're earning. So you put $1,000 away this year, you'll earn virtually zero interest, but next year it won't have the same value because everything has gone up. So you may as well spend it, in fact. Because if you put money away and spend it next year, you won't be able to buy the same things. So wealth is not being built up. People are living from month to month, and most people realise that, and they're kind of frustrated because they realise it, but they don't really know what to do. So linked into that first kind of fact of life is the fact that there's a general failure of the pension system in the Western world, largely because of very low interest rates, and also because people are simply not putting enough money away for their retirement. So when it comes to retirement, and let's face it, you can't work forever, at some point you're going to have to stop working, the vast majority of people's income drops when they retire. And so most people have to downsize. They have to reduce their lifestyle, and they're not fulfilling the dreams that they have in life. You know, you go through life working your socks off to build this so-called dream retirement, but when it comes to reality, you can't live that dream because there isn't the sufficient resources. The point is, and it's a sad fact of life, no government is going to come to the rescue. Governments consistently tax people to death and fail to distribute income fairly. They simply squander it away, they waste money, and some countries, not mention any names, but they basically steal your money and line their own pockets and run off with it. Global interest rates are at historical lows, which is eroding people's savings. And this low interest rate kind of situation we're in at the moment is going to be with us for some time to come. So the bottom line is, you are responsible for your own destiny. You, no one else, you. Now you can moan about it, you can even go and protest, but that won't do you any good. But you have the power to do something about it. So what can you do? Well, there are a million ways to make $1 million, as they say, and trading is just one of them. Trading has become popular because it allows most people to continue in their current jobs, and certainly that's what I would recommend you do for the first few years at least. And because of the access to the internet and applications and things like that, it allows them, normal people so to speak, to have access to the markets. But the problem is there's a lot of misinformation out there, which means that 90% of retail traders, and that's, a retail trader is someone who is basically doing it, investing their own money, not anyone else's money. They're investing their own money and trading the markets themselves. That's what a retail trader is. There's so much misinformation out there that 90% of retail traders lose most, if not all, of their money in a very short period of time. And this is where I come in to try and help. I stop you falling into that trap and give you the best chance of making a success of your trading career. So there's something called a 90-90-90 club, and this is a club that you don't want to be a member of, and it's an known industry stat, which basically the 90-90-90 club is where 90% of retail traders lose 90% of their capital within the first 90 days. So obviously we do not want to be in this club. So our seminars and education programs will show people how professional traders trade. I'll show you the mistakes that retail traders make and why they end up in the 90-90-90 club. And so this will give you the best chance to avoid joining that infamous 90-90-90 club. So our seminar objectives and also the educational package objective is to firstly identify the key areas where 90% of the retail traders go wrong, and then put into practice a systematic process to firstly obtain a world macroeconomic view and use this information to predict market movements and select appropriate sectors and stocks. So in order to do that, we need to know where to find the information out. So we'll show you where to find all this information. We'll also look at things like volatility and how that affects your risk, and how to build a diverse and balanced portfolio using long and short positions. Now you might not understand what I mean by a long and short position is at this stage, but don't worry. During the seminar we'll explain taking a long and a short position. So we'll show you how to build and manage a watch list to screen your ideas. And then once you're ready to hit the go button with your trade, to how to allocate the appropriate amount of capital to your idea, Once the trade is live, you need to manage risk, so we'll talk about that. And obviously before you make that decision about an individual stock, for example, or currency or whatever, then we need to do some technical analysis and research. So we'll look at that, we'll look at how to do some TA as we call it, and some analysis and research, and we'll show you and go through step by step how to build your spreadsheets out from zero. During the seminars and the education programs, we'll send you the templates as well to give you a starting point, but we will go through all the spreadsheets and start from a blank sheet and show you how to build them out. So once you've done that, you can then apply that to the future ideas. And we'll also look at the basics of options trading as well, because using options is one of the tools that we have at our disposal for structuring our portfolio. So we'll go through the basics of options trading. So what is a retail trader? Well, I mentioned it a little earlier on, but a retail trader is a private individual that's not licensed, but is trading their own money through a brokerage account. Your objective will be to make money using your own money as capital. And in order to be successful at that, what you have to do is emulate the professional traders and copy what they do. The problem is, most retail traders don't know what a professional trader does. So how can you even copy them if you don't know what they do? So this leads to problems of retail traders going down the wrong path, and very often doing the complete opposite of what a professional trader would do. So we said a retail trader needs to copy what the professional traders do. For our purposes, we can put the professional traders into one of two categories, either investment banking or hedge fund management. So in the seminars, we go through what each of those two people do, and then what that actually means for us retail traders and who are we going to copy. But obviously, initially, most people don't know what an investment banker does, they don't know what a hedge fund manager does, and so how can they copy them? So we said earlier that retail traders are bombarded with all this misinformation that leads them going down the wrong path. So what sort of information or misinformation am I talking about? Well, you see it all the time on the internet. You see these adverts and these idiots coming on YouTube, say work from home and earn thousands of dollars a week earning or trading FOREX. They also promote day trading as a strategy. So in the seminars we'll explain what day trading is. But day trading has a very limited success and only works in a highly volatile market. Now, with the market volatility as it is, to be fair, you could probably get away with day trading. But before COVID, volatility was really low, and there's absolutely no way you could make money day trading. So we'll look at that. And there's another thing that seems to be quite common or popular for retail traders, and that is something called binary options. This is an absolute scam, and I can guarantee you it won't be the 90-90-90 club that you join. It'll be the 100-100-100 club if you do options trading. So we'll go through that just to show you what to avoid. But there's no way on earth any professional trader goes anywhere near binary options. It's just a complete scam. So other bits of misleading information that they put out there and use as bait to try and hook you in. They tell you can get rich quick. No, you can't. We don't teach people how to get rich quick. We teach people how to get rich slowly. They might try and sell you apps or formulas that allegedly automatically make money. So-called auto trading. That's a load of rubbish too. I'd much rather trust myself than some app that someone else that you don't even know has made, telling you don't need to do any work and it's entirely passive. That's not true. Now, you don't need to do it full time, but you do need to invest some time. And we'll look at how much time a bit later on. It's not a great deal, and if you've got a full-time job, you can normally manage it. And they also tell you can take income from day one. This is definitely not something you can do. You can start taking an income from your portfolio once it's built up, but you need to get it built up first. And if you start taking an income from day one, you're not going to build anything. You'll just be taking income and your fund will be kind of static. You'll take a profit and you'll go back to square one. You'll build up some profit, you take it out, you go back to square one. You've got to let the fund build up first, and that typically takes between 5 and 6 years to do so. Other common mistakes that retail traders make: they don't have any properly thought out trade ideas and no systematic process. Trade idea generation is the key crucial step in the process, and you've got to get that fundamental correct first. They try and trade for income. Okay, you can't do that, not until your portfolio is built up. They take crazy risks. They don't have a diverse portfolio. Basically, they tend to do the complete opposite of what a professional trader would do. So, for example, when they lose money, they take more risk, and when they make money, they take less risk. A professional trader does the complete opposite of that, and they have no discipline. So, our seminars and educational training packages will show you how to generate trade ideas using a systematic process, starting off with a world macroeconomic view. We call it a top-down and bottom-up approach. We will show you how and where to get all the information from, all of which, by the way, is totally freely available. You don't need any subscriptions, you just need to know where to look, and we'll show you where to look, and we'll give you all the website links. We'll show you how to screen your ideas before you actually place the trade. We'll show you how to hedge your risk properly, how to allocate the correct amount of capital, and how to manage your risk. So, in terms of the technical analysis, we'll go through how to generate your own spreadsheets from scratch and carry out some basic technical analysis, which will include covering the basics of Fibonacci and Elliott wave principles, and using RSI data, which will help you time your entry and exit and set your price targets. Okay, so what can you realistically expect to make on your investments? Well, being quite conservative, you will expect to gain a ROI, so that's a return of investment, between 50 and 100% per annum, assuming you're trading a 4 times leverage margin account. And in the seminars we'll explain what exactly that is. You'll need to be able to spend about 10 to 15 hours a week to looking after your portfolio. As I said, nothing's easy. You need to invest time and effort, and about 10 to 15 hours a week should be reasonable for an average guy. Most of that 10 to 15 hours will be dedicated to your idea generation and the gatekeeping process and managing your risk. Placing the actual trade actually only takes a couple of seconds. It's the background work that needs to be done before you hit that buy or sell button. So 10 to 15 hours a week is about reasonable. I mean, you can spend more time if you want to, but as a minimum 10 to 15 hours a week. Okay, so what does all that mean in terms of actual dollar amounts? So if you are on track and you start with a 10k margin account and you're making 25% return on your positions, which is pretty reasonable it's not a crazy number, pretty reasonable and with a reasonable amount of risk, you can quite easily make 25% return on your positions. And you're leveraged 4 times, which is the maximum we would recommend you be leveraged.
Now, we will talk about this leveraging during the seminar, but I'll just briefly mention it right now. So when you make a deposit to your broker account, your broker will allow you to effectively invest up to 4 times what you put in. So if you put 10k in, he will allow you to take positions up to 40k. Now, in Europe and the UK, that 4 times leverage is the maximum they will allow you. But outside of Europe, they allow up to 10 times. Now, that is crazy. And the reason, and it's one of the reasons why the 1999 Club exists, because people put $10,000 on their margin account, and they then allow them to go up to $100,000 taking positions. But what they'll find with that kind of leverage is they get wiped out very quickly. So we would never ever recommend you go above 4 times, even if you're in a region where it's still allowed to go higher than that. On Forex, by the way, because of the nature of Forex, they allow 100 times leverage. So if you put $10,000 down, you're allowed to take positions up to $1 million. So again, you can very easily be wiped out. So if you're taking 4 times leverage, 25% return, after 5 years, now you should be able to start taking an income, because your fund will have grown. You should be able to take an income of 120k per annum and still allow the fund to keep on growing. By year 9, your fund will be worth $1 million. Okay, so what if you start with a smaller amount? Let's say you start off with $1,000. So assuming the same figures, so 25% annual return, 4 times leverage with $1,000 on margin. So by year 13 or year 12, sorry, you'll have a fund of almost $1 million. So obviously it's going to take a little bit longer, and you won't be able to start drawing your income down until year 8, okay, to allow it to build up, and you'll be drawing down a much smaller income. But actually, we would recommend that $10,000 would be a kind of a minimum that you need. You can do it with $1,000, but you're kind of limiting yourself, and because you're limiting to how diversified your portfolio can be when you've only got a small initial startup like that. Okay, so what are the barriers to entry? Trading isn't for everyone, let's be honest. So it's not going to be for everyone for whatever reason. One of them is they haven't got any interest in that sort of thing. But there are other barriers to entry. Firstly, the age limit. Well, you need to be at least 18. There is no maximum age though. You definitely need access to the internet all the time to get access to the information. And you need to have access to a computer rather than a phone or other device, because this is where you're going to be doing your research from, and you'll need to be have access to Excel. Do I need to be good at spreadsheets? Well, you don't need to be a complete expert, but you have to have a reasonable level of understanding. We will take you through step by step how to build up your spreadsheets. And when I first started, by no means was I an expert in Excel, but you will very quickly build up your skills. How much money do I need to start? Well, this is probably the biggest barrier to entry for most people. You would need, as I said, a minimum of 10k, ideally 20k. So that's probably the biggest barrier that people have. Now, with interest rates as they are, you could probably borrow at a reasonable rate this amount of money to get you going. But, and it's a big but, only do so if you can afford the monthly repayments from your current resources or your current job or whatever. Never assume that, okay, I'll go to the bank, I'll borrow 20k, and then I'll use the profits from my trading to make the repayments. If you're in that position, don't stop right now. It's not the right time for you. But you could probably borrow 10, 20k over say 2-year maximum, if you can afford the repayments from your existing job or whatever, and then put that in, because you'll be able to borrow that sort of money at a reasonable interest rate these days, and you will make more than the repayments. So over that 2-year period, for example, you'll have to pay the bank interest. You should, looking at the figures that we went through earlier, should easily make more than what you've paid in interest and the repayments. But as I said, never ever assume that you're going to make the repayments from your trading income, okay? Because you're not going to be taking an income, and you'll have bad weeks, you'll have bad months, and sometimes you'll have bad quarters, and that's part of the game. You're not going to make money every single month, every single day, day in, day out, month in, month out. Taking losses is part of the game, and kind of that comes with the territory. And you also have to have, obviously, an interest in the markets in general. I mean, it should be fun. It shouldn't be a chore for you to do the markets, to do your trading. You should enjoy it. So you have to have an interest in that kind of thing. So they're the main barriers to entry. So just a summary then of our 2-day seminar program, the contents. So over the 2-day period, we'll look at world macroeconomics, and with various links to data and where to find the data, how to obtain a sector view, and then how to pick stocks from the sector, and including supporting spreadsheets to help you do that, how to build a diverse portfolio using what we call spread trades, and we'll talk about obviously what a spread trade is when we do the seminar, how to maintain a watch list, and we've got a spreadsheet template for you to help you with that, how to manage your risk. We'll also look at an introduction to options trading, because using options is quite a good method sometimes. It's not always appropriate to use options, but options is an option out there, and so we'll introduce you to options trading. In addition to that, we'll look at technical analysis, so including calculating relative strength, looking at Fibonacci analysis, looking at Elliott wave principles, and that will include spreadsheet templates and also how to build your own spreadsheets from zero, and then how to structure your trades. So our 2-day seminar packages then will include lunch and refreshments on both days. So we'll hire a venue, typically it'll be a hotel, conference kind of facility. I've tried to keep the cost down as low as I can, so the majority of this cost is to cover the cost of hiring the hotel and providing lunch, etc. So our standard ticket would be £450 per person for the 2 days. We will also have some VIP tickets available for each seminar. Only 4 of those are available though. They are coming at £1,500, and the VIP will include breakfast as well as lunch on both days with myself, and also dinner and drinks on a Saturday night or on the night of the first day of the seminar. Typically we run our seminars on a weekend, which gives most people the best opportunity to be able to attend. So it will start on a Saturday and finish up on Sunday. So the VIP tickets, you'll come to breakfast in the morning before the main event. You have breakfast with me. We can have a chat on a one-to-one basis. After the seminar of the first day, dinner and drinks on Saturday night with me again. This will give you opportunity to have a one-to-one consultation with me. We can talk through some trade ideas and stuff. Typical start times, 9:30 a.m. Or 8 a.m. for the VIPs. Typically we'll finish 5 o'clock, and then the VIP dinner will be from 7 o'clock onwards. Second day we'll start a little bit later, 10 o'clock, 9 a.m. for the VIP, and we'll finish around 3 o'clock. We are limited for space, so for each seminar we'll have a maximum of 40 people, including the 4 VIPs, so early booking is essential. So I have created some incentives to perhaps reduce the price down a little bit for you. So if you refer and bring along 3 other people with you, then you can attend for £250. The 3 people you bring, they will pay the full price. If you bring 6 people, then you can attend for free, or you can pay £250 and have a VIP ticket. These offers are only available to people watching this YouTube video. You must email me the details of the people you're inviting and copy them in so that we can tie or make the connection between you and the person you've invited. So this makes sure that we give you the correct discount, basically. And the people you invite must obviously confirm and also pay their dues. Once they've done that, you will get the discounted price. Okay, some other incentives, or even a chance for you to make some money actually. So if you have a wide network of friends or contacts of the appropriate level, of the appropriate type, then we are looking for introducing agents who can help market our seminars for us wherever you live. Now currently we have a need for agents in West Africa, East Africa, South Africa and Saudi. So working with us, you will help us schedule a range of seminar dates throughout the region, your region, over the coming 18 months or 2 years. And for that you will receive a 10% commission of all the entry fees. If you're interested in becoming an agent, then you should email me, and my email address and contact details are coming up later on at the end of the video. So other options, so we also have a live webinar. So it's exactly the same as a 2-day sort of face-to-face seminar, so to speak, but this is on using the Zoom platform, and it's live streamed and interactive as well. So it's exactly the same as a 2-day seminar, except that it's live online. Price is reduced because obviously we don't need to hire a hotel and we don't need to do breakfast and stuff. So it's £150 for the 2-day event. Obviously it's live, so it's fixed start time, finish time. So the start time is more or less the same as a normal seminar. So 9 AM till 5 and then 10 till 3 on the second day. Okay, this is a new thing that we've created. It's our what we call educational package. So what we found with the 2-day seminar is with the 2 days we're really limited to how much information we can get across. So it doesn't go into as much detail as we really want to. We simply haven't got the time. So we've created this education package, which is done on the internet. So it's not live. You get access to our web education package over a 12-month period, and you can access all the resources and information. So it includes all the details of the 2-day seminar, but in much more detail. So it includes resources such as spreadsheet templates and course notes. We go through the technical analysis in more detail. You've got access to the material for a 12-month period. The spreadsheets and notes, of course, are yours to keep. Basically you download them, or we email them to you, and you can just keep them. There is an optional exam at the end, and you'll get a certificate if you complete it. Now the price for this, for the 12-month access, is £1,500. Okay, so if you're interested, how do we book? Well, obviously with COVID, it's really difficult to try and schedule anything right now, so we haven't got any set dates planned at the moment. So the best thing for you to do, if you drop me an email at that email address, once I get an idea of how many people are interested, where they're located, we can then make a schedule, and obviously based on what's happening COVID-wise from a travel perspective. For the obviously for the webinar, live webinar, the COVID travel restrictions don't apply, and we can schedule that anytime. So drop me an email, let me know where you are located and what you're interested in, whether it's a seminar, the webinar, or the education. Just let me know which one of those it is, and then I'll get back to you. Once we've got the dates set up for where you're located, if you're coming to a seminar, for example, then I'll drop you an email and we can put you down provisionally, and then once we've received payment from you, your position obviously is then confirmed. If you are referring people, then this is really important, you must make sure you notify me so that I can connect you together. If I get an email from someone without mentioning your name, then I have no idea how that person came to me, and so you won't be able to get any of your either discount or commission. Payment is required in advance and payable through bank transfer or through an Eventbrite platform, and I'll provide details of those later. I haven't set up yet the payments system on the Eventbrite, but Eventbrite is it's kind of like eBay but for events, and we'll set something up on there, and you can pay through there or you can pay by bank transfer. No refunds are given, although of course if we have to cancel, of course we will refund you, but no refunds are given. Same with the education package, there's no refunds there.
So thanks very much for watching. So if you need or if you want to attend a seminar, drop me an email, let me know where you are. If you want to do one of the webinars, let me know, and I will get back to you with schedules once they're fixed. If you want the education package, drop me a line, let me know. I'll tell you how to get access to it. And if you want to become an agent, then drop me a line, let me know where you are, and I will sort that out for you as well. Thanks once again for watching, and I hope to see you all soon. Thank you.